What up, everybody? I am back to talk about the Big Brother 27 house after Mickey won the power of veto last night. She has really been winning the two competitions she needed to win to probably stay in the house. So, props to Mickey for winning two comps in a row when her back is against the wall and she needs to save herself. Suddenly, maybe her prayers are finally working in the Big Brother house. Who knew? Who knew? Maybe she'll change her game. I don't know about all that. We'll talk about that in a while if I feel like it. But now I'm just going back to if it was even good for Vince to target Mickey in the first place. I get why he did it. It's a supposedly easy house target. A lot of people saying Mickey's name. But the sloppy way Vince has been playing this HOH, I feel like he needs targets in the house going forward over himself, and Mickey is probably one of those easy targets in front of him. Now, if Mickey can think beyond the box of rocks in her head, she might be able to see the real Vince now. And for now, I think she finally does see the real scummy little weasel Vince in this game. Now, Morgan and Vince's hugs have been sparking a lot of talk online because we all know Vince has a girlfriend. And I don't think we are in cheat man's territory yet. I believe they are trying to con each other with their hugs last night. Morgan is good at comforting Vince, and I think that's actually why Vince likes Morgan in this game. He needs the comfort to, I guess, ease the pain of him having to play this game and not people please everyone in the game. But Morgan and Vince stayed up until 6 this morning, after 6 a.m. this morning, having at least 3 goodbye hugs, but still talking for hours. I felt like Morgan was really trying to make sure Vince is not going to nominate Rachel, that he's not going to blow up the Judges Alliance. Meanwhile, I felt like Vince was hoping to get Morgan Mar okay with that idea, but he was not able to do that at all. Vince did not convince Morgan at all that it would be best to nominate Rachel this week. So he did not do a good job. I don't think his hugs worked as well. And then when Morgan left the room this morning, finally, he said that she's being naive because he feels as though Rachel, maybe even Ashley, will just use Morgan. And they might use her as just a number eventually. But we all know Rachel's actually likes to be good to her allies. She's always shown that in her seasons. I think Vince feels he's at the bottom of that alliance, and he is, but like the way Vince is playing, he's kind of at the bottom of everything because there's not even this real alliance on the other side now. He can be like on top of an alliance with Lauren and Kat, but he's already pissed off Kat, and he would probably go home on the block next to Lauren. So I don't know if that's good for his game. Vince is playing objectively awful. The past week, I just feel like he's trying to please everyone in the game, and now it's made his game almost impossible. I think he's trying to stay to play some sort of middle ground in the house, but you can't do that as HOH. So if that was his plan coming into this week, I don't know why he won this HOH. As I've already said, he pissed off the Cats and the Callies last week with his vote because he was also promising Riley his vote. And now this week, he wants to piss off Rachel, Ashley, Will, maybe even Morgan herself. He boxed himself in by winning this HOH. I believe the right move last week was to save Morgan. You got to save one of your closest allies in the game. But then winning the HOH after and not putting up Kat is objectively dumb as hell. That was the easiest nomination for Vince this week. I've yet to see Vince these past 24 hours come up with a coherent and logical reason of how putting up Rachel is better for his game this week than putting up Kat. The only thing he has is that it's a big move. But the fact is, because of his other nominations, she might not even go home this week if she is on the block. Even in the conversation with Morgan, Vince was trying to convince or give Morgan excuses why he can't put up Kat. He says it's going to push Lauren away, and Morgan brought up, where is she going to go? It's exactly that. Lauren doesn't have much else in the game besides Vince and Kat. You could say maybe Ava. That's about it. So even arguments for why he should have put up Rachel to Morgan ain't really landing, because Morgan's bringing more logic to those conversations than Vince is. And I don't even understand why people won't put up Kat. Like, I understood it more when Riley was in the house, because he was being all, it's going to piss me off if you put up Kat. But Riley's gone. So Vince doing it now is nonsensical. And like I said, Kat was his easiest nomination this week besides Ava, because Ava already put him up. And then last night, we have to listen to Kat asking why she's even still here with Riley gone. And frankly, I have the same question, because she hasn't had any other game besides that showmance. She's had no game these past few days with Riley gone either. So her having safety this week from Vince, the reasoning, the logic, I ain't seeing it anywhere. Now, Vince also wanting to try and keep working with Callie is strange, because Vince knows that she knows that he's treated her like a shitty ally this week. She continues to bring it up to him. And I feel like if he were to somehow get rid of Rachel or Ashley this week, he's forcing himself to once again work with Callie. When in the veto last night, both Kelly and Keanu apparently messed up Vince during the veto. And it's like, Kelly and Keanu are two sides of the same dumb-ass coin. Kelly later told Vince that if she would have won veto last night, she was going to use it on Ava just to be crazy. Like, Kelly just proves time and time again that it's impossible to work with her, because she just does random shit. She doesn't really play the game. So I don't understand how anybody would actually want Callie and Jerry. I don't think it would be good for Vince. And if Vince doesn't realize that after these past few days, when Callie continues to call him out on all of his shit to his face, but then also talks about her own game just making crazy random moves, why Vince still wants Callie around, I actually don't know. And then as for Keanu, I believe he threw the veto last night because he wanted someone to come down. I think Keanu is hoping for Rachel to go up and go home. Ashley clocked that, of course, because Ashley clocks most things in this house. Ashley also clocked that Keanu thinks women are dumb, which is what we've been saying for weeks. Ashley said last night, you have to play dumb because Keanu thinks women are dumb. And he does. He's proved that time and time again. Ashley was doing a lot of clocking over the past 24 hours. She also clocked that Ava doesn't want Catherine on the block, but Ava knows Rachel might be a renom. Let's rant about Ava's game for a while. I hate Ava's game. Nobody has dropped further on my list from the first few weeks than Ava. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise that someone with a fake job like aura reading is only going on vibes in this game, because some of her decision making is literally coming down to vibes and emotions. She had no game relationship with Riley and yet struggled to vote him out last week. She has zero game relationship with Kat, but feels bad that Riley went home and doesn't want Kat on the block this week. These past 2 weeks, Ava has just been showing that she has no game. Add her to the list of the Callies and the Keanus, because I ain't seeing much gameplay, or at least smart gameplay from Ava. She's drop the ball on the relationship she does have in the house. I think even Will, her once strongest relationship, feels some kind of way about Ava because some of her choices aren't making logical game sense. You don't have a relationship with Riley. You don't have a game relationship with Kat at all. Why are you trying to save those people? Like, I would understand if she was trying to save them while also like making a stronger game relationship with them, but she's not doing that. It's just vibes, I guess. So Vince's options are put up Kat, and he keeps things cute with Rachel, Ashley, the alliance. That seems like the easiest, most logical option. It is the most easiest logical option because of the way he's boxed himself in a hole right now in the game. I believe, as I said already in this video, he is trying to play a middle that barely even exists, if at all. That's the kind of game he's played this whole time, and it's coming back to bite him in the ass because of all these connections. You can't play the entire house. So he's at this point where he has to choose a side. The obvious choice is to choose the judges because of the way he voted last week. That's what he's struggling with. And I get why some of it, because he feels at the bottom of the judges. But look at your options on the other side. It's Kat who's upset with you. It's Kelly who does random shit. It's Keanu who doesn't think, and Vince knows that he's wrong all the time. Like, okay, you could try and play with them, but I don't see how that actually helps you either. I don't know. I think Vince's game is in the shitter, but he has the option to put up Rachel. It would be a big move, but he literally might not have the votes to even get her out. He doesn't have the votes to get her out against Kelly. So if he puts up Rachel, he's just pissing her off. If it comes down to Ava winning the blockbuster, if it's Kelly and Rachel on the block, Morgan, Will, Ashley are all going to vote for her to stay. Ava's off the block is also... I can't see Ava voting out Kelly over Rachel. Like, she's going off vibes, but I've yet to see her have good vibes with Kelly. So those are the votes right there. And so Rachel stays in that scenario, I think. Is that how many votes there are this week? Lauren, Kat, Keanu, Mickey. I guess it could be a tie. If Vince can get Mickey to vote out Rachel, I guess over Kelly, I guess he at least has a tie. I've seen people saying that Vince needs to get Mickey back on board to hardcore target Rachel this week. And that's great in theory, but, you know, Mickey's already woken up today feeling some kind of way about Vince, as she should. So right now, that's kind of a hard sell. Mickey changes her mind a lot, though, so it is possible. So I guess the votes could be there to get Rachel out over Kelly, but, like, will Vince put in the right work with Mickey? Has he already ruined that opportunity? It's kind of what it's looking like because of his sloppy gameplay this week. Vince could put up Ashley on the block. He sees that as an easier option than Rachel. As I said in my video last night, you're doing that and then keeping Rachel in the house, though, because that also blows up the alliance. It keeps Rachel in the game. Probably pisses off Morgan even more than if he puts up Rachel. Ashley could definitely go home against Callie, though. That is possible, mostly because of Ava. Ava has that one-sided beef with Ashley. He would need Ava's vote. I don't think he would have Mickey's vote in that scenario, though. So the best he could do is 4-4 again, and then he has to break the tie and have further blood on his hands. It's a mess. He has definitely made a mess for himself. It's good to see his sloppy game catch up to him. He does have an easy option, but then he will have to play from the bottom of the judges with that option. So to wind down here, my question I'm asking myself is, can Mickey actually redeem her bad game this week? Because the thing with Big Brother is it's such a long game that there is time to fix things if you last long enough. So I want to see Mickey attempt to fix her game this week. I'm actually I don't want to say excited, but I am curious to see how Mickey plays this week. So far today, she was trying to turn Ashley and Will against Morgan. And that's not going to redeem her in my eyes, mostly because it's not the time to do that. Morgan's not going to go up on the block this week. Vince is not going to put Morgan up on the block. So let's try and do other things in the game this week, Mickey. So if she continues to do stupid things that have no say on this week, then I don't see how Mickey's going to redeem herself in my eyes. But once again, props to her for winning 2 competitions in a row that she needed to win with her back against the wall. For me, Morgan has already redeemed herself from the early game of her throwing her game away with the Zach obsession. I enjoy Morgan and Vince trying to comfort each other to get their way. But more so, if Morgan does keep Rachel and Ashley off the block this week, it's her that's doing it. Like, she has been the main person staying up on Vince to try and get him to stay with the Judges Alliance. So to me, if Rachel or Ashley don't end up on the block, it's props to Morgan from me. Lauren, of all people, decided to have a voice last night when Vince told her Rachel said she is too indecisive. It turns out that when Lauren is mad at someone, she can speak easily, although her being upset about someone seeing her indecisive is a joke, because she was definitely hella indecisive last week with the veto. During her HOH, I do think she had her mind set up on who she wanted to nominate, but not when it came down to the renom. Adrian versus Ashley, once again, she showed herself to be indecisive. So her being mad about that, of all things, laughable. Lastly, Will, I think he's in a great spot. I think there's no target on his back compared to a lot of other people. So his game of like agreeing with everything to people's faces is still working. Sometimes I don't like when he doesn't push hard enough for his allies, but it's getting him in this spot to get further and further in the game, and kind of a way older players have to play in this game when they're like the only oldest player. So, once again, props to Will. I like the game he is playing overall.